Welcome to today's e-learning video about the expectancy theory. There are a lot of theories on how we learn different set of skills or how we develop certain competencies. Today our mission is to turn you into an expert, or at least as close to one as possible, on a theory called the expectancy theory. The theory suggests that although individuals may have different set of goals, they can be motivated if they believe that there is a positive correlation between efforts and performance. Favorable performance will result in a desirable reward. The reward will satisfy an important need. The desire to satisfy the need is strong enough to make the effort worthwhile. The theory was created by a man named Victor Room in 1964. He believed that in order to learn something, you must first put in effort. You must believe that with motivation and effort in place, that will lead to great performance, and that performance will then be rewarded. He shows this by dividing the process of learning into three ground pillars: expectancy, instrumentality, and valence, which we will soon show you and further explain. This is Patrick, and also his dad and his mom, whom both pushes for and hopes that their son will become a doctor when he grows up, just like everyone else in their family. Luckily, Patrick seems to be like-minded and dreams of following in his parents' footsteps. Though, in order to achieve his dream, Patrick needs to study hard, something that his folks are keen to remind him of. But they also tell him that if he believes in himself and the fact that he will be able to succeed with his studies, and by that later become a doctor, then anything is possible. Patrick, whom now has become a little older, sits in school and struggles with solving various math problems. He believes that they are very difficult and does not find the joy in the situation at all. But then he remembers his parents' words of wisdom: if you work hard, then anything is possible, and he regains his motivation to continue to study hard. The first step in the theory is expectancy, which states that if you believe in yourself and the fact that if you put in much effort, then that will lead to a better performance. Further on, this is affected by having the right resources available. This might be the fact that Patrick is able to go to school where he has teachers who teaches him. This, as well as the fact that he has got the time to learn. Expectancy is also affected by having the right skills to do the job, which could be exemplified by the fact that Patrick is a good student with a full ability and potential to learn. Loss of expectancy is affected by having the necessary support to get the job done, which in Patrick's case we are able to find in his parents' supporting beliefs as well as in his whole family. Patrick idolizes his Uncle Ben, who works at a hospital as a doctor and finds great joy in his job. Patrick finds this motivating and realizes that he can achieve his dream of becoming a successful doctor as well. Instrumentality is the way we perceive how one's performance will lead to an outcome. The outcome represents the reward a person receives for his or her performance. In sales, commission is an example of how instrumentality can work as a motivational force in work life. The more you sell, the more money you earn. i.e., a good performance leads to a desirable outcome of making more money. Correlation is key. Motivation relies on a person's awareness of how the performance will directly lead to the outcome. In order for instrumentality to work, the employers must trust that the employees will deliver the promised outcome. Patrick made it into medical school, and now all he has to do is pass the final exam in order to become a doctor. As we already know, Patrick's motivation stems from intrinsic motivation. This comes to show through his pure belief and perseverance in his studies. As the years pass and Patrick gets further into his medical education, maintain his motivation by remembering the goal of becoming a successful doctor like his Uncle Ben. If Patrick had been motivated by extrinsic motivation, he would have strived for money and power, and that would have helped him through the long nights of studying. Valence is the value an individual places on the rewards of an outcome, which is based on their needs, goals, values, and source of motivation. Influential factors include one's values, needs, goals, preferences, and sources that strengthen their motivation for a particular outcome. The motivation to do what it takes to reach your goal can be divided into two types: intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is the positive emotions related to study hard and the pleasure it brings you. Extrinsic motivation, on the other hand, is the benefits you get, for example, getting a good salary and a high status. Let us now do a short recap. The expectancy theory is built up on the three main parts consisting of expectancy, instrumentality, and valence. Expectancy is about believing that an increased effort will lead to a better performance, and for this you need the right resources, skills, and support. The next step, instrumentality, regards how we link performance to a later outcome, where the general thought is that the greater performance will lead to a better outcome. The third and last step is valence, which is the value a person places on the reward of an outcome. One's motivation to reach a certain goal is divided in two types, intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. All of these are closely linked and very much dependent on each other. Without the belief and motivation in the expectancy, you will not reach your desired outcome and will not get the reward. Room conducts that you must simply believe that if you work harder, you will perform better and then your valued outcome will be reached. You got it? Now, remember this the next time you are to learn something. Good luck!